he calls me a sharp business mind. And I don't know B of business. ये बेटा तो मैंने इनसे मिल के सुना है, मैंने कभी सुना भी नहीं था ये सब पहले. The first step is from India to the world, and we have pride in the fact that we can do stuff like this as well. And that really I connected with that a lot because it's like, देखते हैं, let's take a leap.
If you were to imagine any other person you would want them to, see in one8, any favorite celebrities or athletes other than Virat himself?
Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
So great. Abhishek and Virat, we were like waiting for this moment to happen where I catch hold of both of you in the same frame.
Okay.
So, we've been meeting a lot of times, right? And we've had so many discussions with each other. Seeing this, vision with you and getting your inputs as one of the best athletes in the world, getting those technical inputs. And then we have Abhishek here, who has been, one of the people who've built a sportswear brand, a global sportswear brand earlier in India, and now like with Agilitas leading that vision. So there are these couple of questions that our team sort of put together.
Okay.
And, we just, out of curiosity, we just wanted to know about, like, the first question would be, when did you first meet Abhishek?
Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
I didn't know much, honestly, about Abhishek before we met. And then I got to know him and about him a lot more after that. And the relationship, obviously, eventually it grew very organically. It was never forced to kind of meet too much or discuss too many things. The ideas floated here and there. And then one fine day we discuss about, wanting to start my own brand, which I was very passionate about. And to be fair, within a week's time, he came back and he said, yes, let's do it. So, that was more or less the starting point of how we met and how we evolved to get to know each other much better.
Anything from you, Abhishek?
You want to know when I got to know about Virat?
Got to know about me when we met.
When you met.
And I cannot forget this. I went to Wankhede because I was supposed to meet him at Trident in Bombay at Nariman Point. And that day, I was to see him next day. And that day, he had scored a double century in the heat of Mumbai against England. And in the evening, I just loitered to the gym and, to train. And at around 7:30 in the evening, after playing the entire day, I see Virat just, at his best at the gym. And I remember walking up to him and said that, didn't you just play in the, in the heat of Bombay? And you're training now. He said, because I played the entire day, I'm training right now. And I like, how does that work? And that was very intriguing for me that somebody looks at training in that perspective. But having said that, I think I give, among a lot of other things that Virat is known today for, he is a very, very sharp business mind. And I think that I've always appreciated his feedback. And that's why even thinking about Agilitas and then thinking about one8 vision with him has been phenomenal.
Great. So Virat, is sportswear something that has always been an interest to you? Like, have you always been into footwear and apparel?
So, sport has literally been like majority of the part of my life. Like since I was 5-6 years old, I've been playing cricket predominantly, but most of the other sports you try as a kid, and that becomes your career, your profession. So you're living that every day of your life. And for sport, you need movement. For movement, you need comfort. So that becomes such a part of you that you seek that comfort in everything else. That's how sports style, and I was always pulled towards the idea of having a sports-based approach to style, but bring in functionality and comfort. Because I always wondered like by myself, I used to sit down and think, why do I like wearing stuff which is comfortable? Like even in fashion, I would seek like loose pants and baggy t-shirts, and the feeling was that it helps me be free and to be able to move. So I think that's been such a big part of my life, being comfortable while playing sport, that translated into everything that I wanted to wear as well. Now I wear like baggy suits and I'm like, I can't do structured stuff. I think the inspiration came from there. And then eventually, as I said, when we spoke about one8 initially, the idea was to be able to recreate or replicate fashion with sportswear in India, because I think a lot of the global stage it was being done, and also it had to do with the culture, the sports culture. In a lot of the countries, they're very happy to wear jerseys and walk around. They're very happy to wear shorts and comfortable sportswear stuff and just go to any place to have a coffee, to go to the restaurant. So that's what we discussed, like how can we create something which is hybrid, which allows you to do both without being judged because it's stylish. A lot of the things we don't wear in India is because we feel like people say, kya pehna hua hai? तैयार क्यों नहीं हो क्या? Like I used to get that at home. Like my mom used to be like, क्या t-shirt में बैठे हो? कोई घर पे आ रहा है? I'm like, I'm comfortable. That's what matters. Yeah, change करके आओ.
So what convinced you to be an investor, and that confidence, where did that come from to invest in Agilitas?
Of course, as he said, he calls me a sharp business mind. I don't know B of business, to be honest. Like all this, ये बेटा तो मैंने इनसे मिल के सुना है, मैंने कभी सुना भी नहीं था ये सब पहले. For me, business is what I feel is the approach to everything can be the same. I think when the approach is very organic, it translates to anyone. When you play, if you're playing for pretense, you'll be found out very quickly. And if you're working even in business, if your end goal is to monetize something, it can go to an extent, it'll fade away. But if your intent is to give something which has meaning and which has people's intent and energy and love behind it, then it translates in the same manner. So that's how I've approached always my ideas as well. Would I like to wear this product that I'm willing to provide to anyone who wants it? If the answer is yes, I'm going to go for it. So that's all I've thought. And when the Agilitas conversation came through as well, of course, the base and foundation of that was Abhishek's experience. When the offer came through and he made me understand the force behind it, to understand the kind of structure there is already, the manufacturing capabilities, the expertise he has, the kind of people that were going to come on board, I thought, yes, this could become something big. And of course, I wanted to be a part of it. There was a couple of situations where I could have either been just a part of one8 or become a part of Agilitas. So that's where I said I would like to become a part of Agilitas, because I want to be able to share ideas and create the business together with him and the others. Because then the investment of your energy is that much more. You're not just thinking, okay, they're going to take care of my brand. This is how much I own in the brand and this is my exit plan. Now I'm involved in the creative process of everything that comes out. Which obviously for me, someone like me who's always like to, do stuff, create stuff, it helps me be invested in the right way and be excited as well. And that's precisely why I chose to invest.
Awesome. And Abhishek, just wanted to know more from you, that with Agilitas, what's our vision?
Look, I think we want to propel a generation through sport. Sport is so powerful. And I think coming at this time from India, which is in such a moment in the game as I see it, there cannot be a better time to have an ambition to build from India, but be globally relevant. I think for me, that wakes me up every day in the morning is to build a company. India is not known primarily to be an active country. It's still getting there. But I think that's going to change. And I think we would like to be kind of contributed to that, or to build that. And to, if I see it down the line, like in 8-10 years, to be globally relevant in a very meaningful way. What Virat said, that, anything about business or brand is the same thing. What is your purpose? Your reason why you are there, and the intent of being there. That's very, very long term. And I think that's the Agilitas story, right? Then the business model, of course, manufacturing, brands, enabling athletes, creators. I think we are very, I would consider myself super fortunate that right from the beginning of the story in 2023, right from Virat lending his entire support and his intention and his collaboration to even financial investors, always seeing this to be such a big opportunity. And then the team. I think for people from different, not just from India, from different parts of the world, seeing us to be ready, I think is very inspiring.
I just want to add something there. He said that for us to be ready for this kind of a breakthrough in fashion along with comfort, which is related to sport or based on sport. I think if you ask me today, having gone through many experiences of traveling, this, that, and the other, if you give me a t-shirt which is made by people in India and they give me style, comfort, a sense of identity of being Indian, and it's super cool, I would say, man, this is amazing. Nothing, like no luxury brand in the world can impress me in that way. So I think the idea, yes, we want to take it across borders, but the first step is from India to the world. So first, pan-India, we want this to become a sense of pride when you wear. This has been designed by people of our own, made here. And we have pride in the fact that we can do stuff like this as well. And then, the idea to take it global. And it's, if you look at the logos and how we're doing things in a very subtle way with style and colors and logo as well, for me, it represents quiet confidence, that we are confident in what we are doing. And we don't need to be loud. We don't need to be in someone's face. And if you look at India at the global stage now, it's quiet confidence. Everyone knows India is in a position of their own. So we don't need to go out there and try to prove to people that we are also cool or we are also confident. It's a very natural progression that's happening, which is why I'm personally very excited about this journey over the next 8 to 10 years, as you said.
Even we are super excited. I think, this is an emotion that resonates with all of us here in the team, that, we feel that, this is the moment of India, like, what is happening in our country. It is an aspirational country, and, with what we are building at Agilitas, even we see that entire vision of India really taking India to the sportswear from India to the globe. So with this...
And one more thing I would like to add, Supriya, that people will soon see and believe that something from India, and I think our starting market, which is our own market, India, is no less. Whether it comes to product, design, innovation, functionality, technical innovation, quality, and simple, attention to detail. Little things, right? And that's the discoverability that once that happens, it will just, we believe that it will just go, to a great height.
100%.
That's awesome. So, while we're at this topic, we would also love to hear from you, Virat, that what do you think about, Agilitas culture, and from your athlete mentality, if there was one mentality piece that you would like to share with us?
So the Agilitas culture, initially, I didn't know who was going to be part of the team. There were a few people that Abhishek told me about, and I had met them, so I knew of them. I didn't know about any recruitments. I didn't know about... He told me, like, you're going to love the people that are coming on board. Then he told me the experience. And the places all the people in the team have worked at and what they have left to create something. Yes, it has great potential. And that really, I connected with that a lot, because it's like, dekhte hain, let's take a leap. Let's see what happens. That thing is so powerful in my own life that I just felt like these are a bunch of people that are willing to, make this dream come to life. And that is something that I connected with immediately. And if you say the athlete mentality, it's already there in the company. That the ability to take a risk and the ability to follow something that's not been done before is basic. It's the biggest, deciding factor or the differentiator, which I've experienced in my own career. So it was already there, and hence the partnership happened in the first place. Otherwise, for someone like me, it wouldn't have been possible for this kind of trust or belief to say, you know what, this is heading in the right direction. And it's to do with people who have left so much that they've achieved already, to do it with an Indian brand and to live this dream. I think that speaks volumes of their character, which actually impressed me. And I was like, I need to be a part of this. I don't know what you think, but that was my experience.
No, I think it's also what now is the 1/8 mindset, right? That if you don't try, you will never know. And we need to, otherwise, we don't want to be in a comfort zone. We all could have been where we can be, including Virat, you yourself. Today, you can walk into any brand and they would love to have you forever. And the very fact that you did it, or some of us did it, because we don't need to do it, but we want to do it.
Yeah.
And then we will never know our potential unless we try.
Yeah.
And that's also the 1/8 mindset, that we're all made for more, but we sometimes settle for less because we're not even trying. And 1/8 would always celebrate people who take that path-breaking step of stepping away, go to that uncharted territory, and then suddenly find that sonic boom moment in their life, which leads them to escape velocity. So I think a lot of that Agilitas mindset is truly represented in 1/8 as a brand. And I think Virat as a personality truly represents, that unless we try, we will never know. So
with that, for both of you, what would be the ambition with 1/8?
Just taking on from what Abhishek said, if you look at the people who, for example, him with years of experience and having built brands over his entire career, if you ask all of these people, you will get to a stage in the conversation when they will say this is not about money. It is a business. Of course, your aspirations and your goals will be related to the success of the business. But I think the foundation of this whole process is fulfilling your potential. And this is what I always had the perspective in my career. Am I fulfilling my potential? It's not about, because you can have a set number and be like, I'm done. But have you done justice to your potential? And I think that's what this whole process is for everyone involved. And that for me is the vision. That all of these people have come here to another challenge to fulfill their potential. Because if it was about making X amount of money, they would have stopped and be, done with things. But they still have this fire inside them to say, this is what we are passionate about, and we want to fulfill that passion and fulfill our potential and live up to it. So that for me is the thing that wraps the whole project within it. And I would love for it to be that way forever. Because if that fire stays alive, then you're never really working for the wrong reason.
Yeah.
What about you, Abhishek?
High performance brand from India, built on sport functionality, best in class, with a clear intent and purpose and reason to be in this universe. And for me, it is about absolutely having, whenever I will look back, I would say I did justice to myself and to the people who surrounded me, and whose life I can influence and impact. And does that lead to a positive feeling?
Wow, that's great. So with this, I just wanted to ask something just for fun right here. Just wanted to know, if you were to imagine any other person you would want them to, see in 1/8, any favorite celebrities or athletes other than Virat himself?
Abhishek can answer that first. I'll have to think.
Yeah.
Do you have?
See, I think we want to support Indian athletes. I think that's very, very important. India is our starting ground. We would love to have support the best athletes and also the up and coming ones. We want to really walk the talk and make that difference in India. So I would say that, and also some interesting people who have broken through with regards to other walks of life and culture, but related to sport and activity.
Yeah, I think collaborations are a very natural process of any brand becoming more successful from a worldly perspective. And obviously, when you have ideas and you can create really well with other people who bring value to your project, those collaborations are no-brainers. So
Yeah.
I can't really say names right now because
Yeah.
there's so many people who firstly would like to know their perspective. It's not going to be random collaborations just for 4 days of viewership. We don't want to do things like that. It's about what is the perspective of this person, what is the life journey, how have they portrayed their art or skill or whatever we want to call. But I think the most important thing is what Abhishek said, is to represent and support Indian athletes. This is the discussion we had. Like the moment we thought of, okay, we want to eventually get to a stage pretty soon where we want to start signing people and bringing out product with high performance, and how many people are working on high performance. The idea is that I was so annoyed with this notion that यार बाहर की quality बहुत अच्छी होती है, हमारे यहाँ quality अच्छी नहीं है. I was like, ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है यार? मतलब we have the ability, we are just not aligning our vision to giving that product for the athlete. If we do that, then everything is set, and that's what we want to achieve. We want our athletes to wear our brand with pride, knowing that they can still have high performance and knowing that the quality is taken care of. So that for us is the biggest vision. Collaborations and those activations will keep happening.
Yeah.
But we want to achieve this for sure.
Yeah. So with that, one last question. I know I have kept you guys. One last question. So really just wanted to know that both of you coming in as co-founders, how do you work with each other? What are your roles?
Just like this. Just like this. We laugh, we joke around, we talk a bit of business. When we meet, we eat food for the most part of it. Have nice coffee, and then within 5 minutes we talk something which has substance, and then we start working on it. It's simple. Zyada complicated nahi hai.
Okay. So awesome with that.
Perfect.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.